Today's tools is going to be a razor blade, masking tape, a mixing cup, a stir stick, your resin, your hardener, and your fiberglass mat and cardboard.
Remember to always smash that like button, definitely subscribe, and always share this with your buddies so we can bring you these great boat builds. Thanks guys, now let's get into the project.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So it's been raining and sprinkling here and there. I wanted to do part two, so we're just going to do a real quick look. The squirrels are throwing acorns at me up in these trees as I sit here, and I told them I'm going to go get a BB gun. But anyway, so what I want to do is get this to fit. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to I'm going to show you. Cardboard is your best friend when you're trying to form something. They're dropping acorns right on me. Anyway, we're going to get to boxes. So anytime I move, they get in the tree above me, and they're trying to drop acorns on me. So anyway, boat's full of acorns, as you can see. But anyway, what I was going to say is, let me put you on a tripod, and I'll show you what I've been working on. Like I said, I've been trying to do this real quick before it rains again. I may just glass that one side because it is starting to sprinkle again. But you'll get the gist of it, so let's do that. Got to put some microphones on. Here we go. Plugging it in. Turning it on. Man, thank you, Mary, for these microphones. Finally got them to work. That was a birthday present that Mary got me. Thank you, Mary. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut the cardboard in the shape that I want. And what I'm going to do is get a Sharpie so I can mark where I want to stop with the fiberglass. Well, or the next best thing, a big Sharpie. Anyway, it doesn't matter as long as you got something. Man, I love this Ranger trailer. It's got that step between the tires. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but I've got a line here that matches this line, and it's going to be part of this backboard. So now we're going to come in here, and what I want to do is go right like this. Gonna curve around to the front here. This is just gonna be my guideline. So when I lay the glass, I don't want to lay the glass any higher than that. So now, what you want to do is, since we're gonna be in here getting messy, you want to make sure that you mask off the top of this, because I don't want any resin on top of that. It's going to bite into the side of it, so I don't want any resin there, and this is just masking it off to keep that resin off there. Also, at the same time, I don't want to get it messy up top either, so I'm going to take this and run just like that, because we want to stay off the side of this because it's already, you know, pretty and polished. So that black line is where the fiberglass will come up to, okay? So let's get that going. Put some masking tape over there. All right, step down. So at first I'm gonna lay down that heavy mat like we did the back transom with, but I'm gonna cut them out the shape of this and the shape of the bottom. Lay that in there, we'll glass it, and then we'll take small plywood, and the rougher the better, and we'll lay that on top of the glass, and then we'll come in and we'll lay some mat. We're going to lay in some matting. And then we'll lay heavy on top again. And then when we revisit it, we'll sand it, and then we'll lay a smooth layer of the fiberglass. So basically all I'm doing is I want to keep the fiberglass off the smooth surface because it's going to be more work. All right. So I'm going to finish masking this off. By the way, I tried downloading part 1, and for some reason it's not downloading to YouTube, so I got to figure that out. But otherwise it would have been posted by midnight last night. So it's a really good episode. It leads into this. But as it stands right now, we're not on YouTube yet today, and we should have been. So anyway, so I'm gonna do this one side today real quick, and then weather permitting, I'll get that other side done. What I did was I measured from the edge of the boat here to the edge of that lip, and from the edge of the boat to the lip, it's exactly 35.5 inches. So this piece is centered, and now what I'm doing is I'm making the side pieces so this fits perfect, and then we'll work on this back piece later, because I'm going to come off here with a really cool nodular design that ties into this, so it'll finish off the end cap here of this rail system, because usually there was a seat here, but there's no longer going to be a seat here. So we're going to make this cool little transition. It'll look like it was made that way, like it was factory, but when we get done, it'll be really cool. And then like I said, this top lip, I'm going to straighten it, and then I'm going to take a router and router the edge and make it a rolled edge. So we'll do that, but that'll be next weekend. But let's see if we can get this side done before it starts raining, and then we'll be good to go. Tape and cardboard is your friend in fiberglass work. So basically, I've built a form here that the glass is going to be going to. We're going to put this right here. These are the pieces of wood that will go in after I lay in the mat. So right now we're going to go cut some of that heavy, the mesh, and we're going to cut it this shape and then the bottom shape. And then we're going to do a couple layers of it, and then we'll lay the wood in it. Boom, boom. Then we'll come in with 2 more pieces like that. Actually, we're going to mix up some mesh, that stuff like we did the transom, and we'll put it in between so it's level with the wood. And then we'll go back there and we'll grab some more of that heavy mesh and make it level with this. And then we'll have to come in. It's kind of hot today, guys. Then we'll come in and we'll level it with some gel coat. And when I level it with the gel coat, then we'll be good to go. So that piece goes there. All right, and this piece goes like that. So I got that wood ready to go in there. It's just for a little bit of strength on the end. I didn't want to do nothing over here, so we just have a little bit of strength in there. So we'll get on that right now. So I want you to be able to see both. So this is from cutting the cardboard earlier, but basically you can see where the cardboard is. It's got a ridge. That was just to give it a space of, like, you know, a little more than 1/8 of an inch. So when this is dry, this will fit nice and snug. And then we'll clean up this edge on the red of the Ranger so it's flat. And after I get these sides made, then I'll work on getting that center piece where the knob's going to be that holds it down. It's actually going to be like a, almost like your trolling motor nut that's on the front of the hub. It'll be sort of like that. Maybe I can use that. And then, so the boat will get the actual stainless steel stud, and then this will have the knob that tightens that on. So you'll be able to set this in there. And I need to make a couple mounts off the stringers so this pan isn't just resting on the fuel tank, if that makes sense. So anyway, let's get with this. Let's get on it. So this is that thick mat. It's heavy woven, and you want to use the heavy woven first. It's going to be on the bottom. So we're going to go with that. All right. So we're going to come here, and then we want it also to lay that way. So we're going to come up. Now I'm just going to guesstimate here. You have to have a really good pair of scissors, and I sharpen those scissors all the time, so, but you have to have a sharp pair. So what you want here is you want this to lay all those strands you want in the bottom. You don't want those up on top here. Okay. So that bottom needs trimmed. All right. Needs trimmed more. All right. There's the first piece. All right, let's cut. All right. What you want to do is you want to take it right to the edge, and it multiple layers is good. Any extra piece you have like this makes a tight curve in the back. Every time you add something like that, it's going to add a lot of strength. I hear Optimax. Did you hear that Optimax? It said "Arr." They do that. Arr. It sounds like arr. Okay, we're gonna trim that. Don't ever throw the trimmings away. You could always use the trimmings on something else. Whew, we're gonna be itching tonight. All right. If it goes over a little bit, it's okay because you could grind it, but you want to try to keep it in that zone, and you want to push it all the way against that wood right there. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to get cut some chop strand. Right. But all these scrap pieces are making up for the area that's gonna need to be filled. And if there's a little over, then we can always grind it. Now these pieces of wood are ready to go. I'm gonna mix up some resin. the wood. All right, so we gotta make sure we got the right shape. Gotta trim off these little tags. Okay, I got my brush. Get up here. Okay, here we go. At first it's hard to get it saturated behind there, but once you get it going, it'll be fine. Once it's saturated, then you just pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. Got to watch the dripping that's going on here. All right. Okay, so what we have here is it's tied into the side, and then we stayed as best we could below the line. And then when this hardens, I can come in here with a filler and just fill this nice and easy. But the main thing is now this fits this side of the boat, see? Now it's curved. And then once we fill that in, you won't be able to tell the difference. And we'll do the same over there. And it'll look good. It'll look like a factory piece, which is pretty awesome. When we get done with it, everyone will be like, wow, I can't believe he took part of that Viper and made it part of the Ranger. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. Hope you learned something. And most of all, weather permitting, we'll be doing that other side hopefully throughout the week. It gets dark pretty early. By the time I get home, it's 7:45. But if not, we'll tackle that side right there on Sunday. And then we'll have enough time to tackle the center of this and clean up this top line, give it a curve, and then we'll figure out our manning system underneath so it doesn't sit just right on top of that fuel tank. And like I said, I hope you guys are learning something from this. I know that I enjoy making the videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows that only 16% of my people are subscribed, which means there's 84% that's just not subscribed. So I would enjoy the follows and the shares, guys. And please leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll be sure to happy to answer them. And I cannot wait to get back on the back of this boat after we clean up those bilge pumps and aerator live wells in that back area. By the way, yesterday I took off the back battery cover lid because this boat's actually missing a lid. So we're going to clean this up, make it nice and smooth, and we're going to make a plug, which is the opposite of this, so we can do a mold of these Ranger doors. These Ranger doors are really weak. The ones I'm going to make are really strong. So I'll also have the plug and mold to make these Ranger doors. Anybody out there with a Z Series Ranger and you got weak doors, I can make you strong ones. They're not cheap. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. And you've been watching the JFL Boat Build Series. I'm your host, Brent Bridgman, and we'll see you next weekend. So those of you that are interested in this boat, it just needs the treated wood put back in the front and the floorboards. Remember, I have all the lids. They're all powder coated aluminum lids. So you just need to put the floor in it. It's all dry now. It's been in here a year. And then the windshields, I got offered $300 just for the windshields. But anyway, anybody wants this boat, $750. It's ready. The transom needs dug out and redone. That's simple. Very simple. If you guys want me to do it, we could talk about a price. I could put the floors in it and the transom for a certain price. But this is a 21-foot Viper by John Story. So they only made 14 of these. So, and this is a dual console. I think there's only 4. That's not saying 4 in their existence. There was only 4 made. So it's really awesome. These will fit a 9-foot rod. These rod lockers are 10 foot long from nose. See, it goes way up in there, all the way back to the console. So this boat has a really, 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 really long profile. Almost looks like a bullet. Look at this. It's sick. But it's got that Ranger bottom. Got that Ranger bottom on it. So the sides are awesome. Just the top needs redone up here. And I already patched the cracks with the epoxy. But yeah, $750. It's got a great trailer. It's all tubular, full tube. It's not C-channel. So let me know.
You can join Brent at TikTok at Just Fish Lures.
Thank you.